Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Mediqual plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I want to talk about the new menu UI options that I've enabled for the wall plugin. So to get started, let's jump here into the global settings, and right here under the user interface section in the general tab, you will see now there's a new parameter here called menu UI. Okay, and then if you look here, you will see that you have three options: legacy, collapsed, and expanded. So let's go ahead and just start with legacy. That is the original menu system for the wall plugin. And just to note, this menu UI parameter will only affect the wall draw menu and the wall edit menu currently. So the other menus are by default the legacy, and there is no other options. Okay, so let's go ahead and just change that to legacy. I had it changed the other way for testing purposes. So, and now we're just going to go ahead. The draw menu and the edit menu are pretty much the same thing, but I'm just going to demonstrate this using the edit menu just because I have this wall already drawn here. So when you go ahead and edit the wall assembly, as normal, you're going to see this big, long menu pop up with all these parameters and sections. And yeah, so this is the legacy menu. This is the original menu. I've left it as an option only because there are people probably that are very familiar with it, and it's hard to take something away from people that they're used to. So if you want to stay with the legacy menu, by all means stay with it. So again, my main reason, well, I guess kind of the feedback that I was getting was suggesting that this menu was much too long and too complicated, and for the new user, when you load up a menu like this, it's rather daunting. I mean, until you kind of get the idea of how things work and you understand that most of these options actually and parameters you don't need to mess with and don't need to change, especially the wall corner and the wall end sections. Typically, you don't really need to mess with those, but for the new user, you get into this and you first see it and you're just like, wow, I mean, what do I set all these to? So I'm trying to hopefully minimize that initial shock. So anyways, this is the legacy menu. Like I said, it's still available. You can still use it. So let's go ahead now and demonstrate the other menu. So I'm going to start first actually with the collapsed menu. So let's go ahead and change that. Now let's go ahead and edit this here wall. And you're going to notice right away that there's quite a few less parameters shown right off the bat. I've still left a few basic options here that I think you kind of need to see those regardless. So I've left a few here that I think are important. And then I've taken a lot of the basic options that were previously here, and I've basically placed them in a section called framing options. So if you mouse over this little minimize or maximize button here, I call this the toggle button, you can basically toggle these sections on and off independently. So yeah, basically a lot of these parameters were previously in the basic options, and now they're under the framing options. Now I've also taken this remove studs option that was previously in the advanced options and moved it from the advanced options to the remove stud or the framing options, because I thought it was actually a better place there. So yeah, just kind of shuffled a few things around, but notice how the wall corner, wall end, advanced options, everything is minimized right off the bat. When you first open the menu, it's going to look like this. So if you need to get into something, you can get in here, change it. Same with the advanced options. The advanced options, again, it's a lot of parameters. It's a little daunting, but you don't have that staring you in the face right off the bat. So if you need to get in there, you can change things. And then the other thing that's kind of interesting here, so if you do start enabling some of these other advanced options, for instance, blocking, if you turn that on, you'll notice that the blocking options section shows the little title, but it also is minimized right from the get-go. But then, of course, you can always open it up and leave it open or close it, what have you. But let's turn on that blocking, hit update. Okay, so if we look at this wall, we'll notice we have blocking. If you look real closer, you can see that blocking. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I'm going to edit this wall one more time and show you how that menu has changed. So now you'll notice that before the blocking options section did not show, now that menu header will show, and you'll know right off the bat that you have blocking enabled, even though the advanced options are not showing. And of course, if you do toggle that on real quick, you can see that you've got blocking turned on. But the nice thing is you can have this minimized, and just quickly with showing that that header there, you'll know that you have blocking options turned on. So it kind of the collapsed version tries to kind of keep things minimized by default, and then if you need to get in here and open things up, you can. So that's kind of the thinking there. So now let's go ahead, and I'm going to change this to the final one, which is the expanded menu. So basically, the expanded option is basically the collapsed option. It's pretty much the same thing, except now you'll notice that most of these have been automatically expanded for you by default. So it's basically has the same toggling ability as the collapsed option, but everything is expanded. For instance, like if we turn on, let's say for instance we turn on wainscoting, so it will open up that section and it will expand it as well, right? And let's go ahead and just close that out and show you again. Let's open that now with the expanded menu, and you'll see that everything is expanded. Exterior wainscoting is expanded. Of course, you can always manually toggle them shut if you don't want to look at them. But one thing that I want to point out here is that these two sections, the wall corner start and the wall corner end, are not expanded in the expanded option. And the reason for that is because these two are generally not used too often, in my opinion. And so I think it makes sense just to keep them closed and only open them manually if you need to. So really, the expanded option is no different than the collapsed option, other than the fact that you have, by default, the different sections being auto-expanded for you when you first open the menu. All right, I think that pretty much sorts out this new menu system. Like I said, this only applies to the wall draw and the wall edit menus. All the other menus, if you select expand or collapse, it's still going to just show the legacy menu, and so there's no option yet for that. And I may add additional parameters here or options, just depending on how things go and what feedback I receive. So right now, I'm trying out these three options, and then we'll kind of just take it from here. So anyways, I appreciate you guys, your feedback, your support, and we will talk to you guys later.